Thanks for stopping by the Reaction Lounge. My name is Eric Wilfred Watson. Today I'm going to react to the movie Blade 2. Now, I did Blade 1 on this channel, not knowing anything about Blade other than it was a Marvel character. I hadn't seen the movie before. I avoided it because it was a vampire movie, and vampires, not really my thing. But I thoroughly enjoyed Blade. I wish I would have watched it years ago. I'm sort of ashamed of myself that I didn't. Wesley Snipes was a cool character. Wesley Snipes is a great actor. He was born to play that role. He just exuded awesomeness. And I'm really excited for Blade 2. Now, I know that sequels often don't live up to the original, so I don't really know what to expect with Blade 2. I know that it was at least good enough to give us a Blade 3, but really my knowledge of this movie ends with the ending of Blade 1. I know how Blade 1 ends because I just watched it. I just reacted to it. But what's going to happen next in this sequel, I have absolutely no idea. So this is a completely fresh, blind, first time ever reaction. And I'm really glad you stopped by the Reaction Lounge to watch it with me. Before I get started, I just want a quick reminder to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously. And if you're interested, you can check out my novels at Amazon.com. Links in the description below, and links to Steve and I's other channels also in the description below. So with no further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to watch Blade 2 for the first time ever, starting right now. Who's this guy? A blood bank. Of course, vampires would be involved in blood banks. Cheers, folks.
Yes. And there's no limit to how many times you give.
No limit to how many times you can give. That can't be healthy. Not at all a suspicious-looking place to donate blood.
Nobody to call in case of an emergency.
No one.
Well, that's not suspicious at all. I'd be out of there. I'd be gone. I would be so gone.
It's for us.
Why is the guy in the background dressed like a Nazi? What's up with the Freddy Krueger hands? What's going on? Oh, that's... Here. I'm just going to watch. I wouldn't want to be that guy. Whatever's going to happen, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Oh, what's happening? Oh, so he's the vampire. What is going on? Oh, so it's like a vampire killing monster? A vampire? Oh, what? What's going on? Ah! All right, well, that was an intro. New Line Cinema presents...
Forget what you think you know.
Ooh.
Vampires exist.
Opening credits with a monologue.
I was born half human.
A little exposition for those that have not seen the first movie, I guess. Which is good. You should be able to watch the sequel without watching the original. I like a movie that stands on its own.
Taught me the rules.
Don't be fed after midnight, and don't get wet. Blade 2. All right. This is a very quick exposition monologue. Not too bad. Not to the detriment of the movie. A long exposition in the beginning is a bad thing. This is setting stuff up pretty well, I think, from a storytelling point of view. It very much has the tone of the original movie, although I'd say Blade's entrance isn't as cool as it was in the first movie, but still pretty awesome. And Wesley Snipes is absolutely born to play this role. Really happy with what I'm seeing so far. I know it's very early in the movie, but it seems the tone is correct. Trying to get the lay of the land to figure out who these people are and what's going on. Kerplop. Oh, that's pretty cool. Very Matrix kind of a imagery, very Matrix-y kind of imagery. You can tell this movie came out after The Matrix. I guess physics and inertia don't apply to that thing. See, that would have been a good point to do the Wilhelm scream. Perfect opportunity for Wilhelm scream. Oh yeah, very much post-Matrix. That's pretty cool, though. Little attitude. I approve. Wesley Snipes exudes attitude. Sunglasses at night kind of a guy. What is this now? I mean, see, like snorting blood crystals? What is this? Is this a vampire drug? Boxes say tasty. What is that all about? Oh, here we go. There's the obligatory music. I've already lost count of how many vampires Wesley Snipes has killed thus far, but it's a lot. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more. It's just fun to look at, folks. It's just fun to look at. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Feels very video game-like, where the bad guys just disintegrate upon death.
Catch you later.
Catch you later. Is that his Arnold Schwarzenegger I'll be back moment? Oh, is that his guy from the first movie that shot himself so he didn't get turned into a vampire? Is this how they bring him into the sequel? I can't quite make out who that is. Is that what's going on here, or am I completely wrong? Yeah, that's him. So that's just an excuse to have him alive in the sequel, even though he very plainly died in the original. Shot himself so he didn't become a vampire. So apparently they snatched up his body and put him in one of these things. You know what? I'll forgive it. It's a comic book movie. You can do stuff like that. I'm okay with it.
The Dark Knight Returns.
The Dark Knight. I think that's taken by DC, folks. I don't know if you can use that term. Get out of here, wannabe Axl Rose.
You're gonna have to finish me off.
Flashback to the previous movie for those of you that haven't seen the previous movie.
Gun. Now walk away.
That's kind of weak. You should use flashbacks very sparingly in movies. Cutting to previous movies is a little bit lazy when it comes to the writing, but yeah, I mean, it works. But you know, that gun kind of reminds me of RoboCop's gun, or maybe Judge Dredd's gun. It's a contender for one of the coolest movie guns. I don't know if that's an actual firearm that's manufactured, or if it's a prop they made for the movie, or what that thing is. If you know, let me know in the comments.
Like hammered shit.
Like hammered shit.
Started out in Moscow, then Romania.
Oh, so that's why I was in Moscow at the end of the previous movie, so that wasn't just in there for the hell of it.
What about you? Josh, you can call me Scud, though. Everybody does.
Scud is a horrible name for a character.
The fuck's your problem, Poppy?
Obviously, they're not going to get along.
Sucking. Save your puckered old ass.
It's like when Dick Grayson was introduced to the new Robin. That didn't go very well. Got Post-it notes on his computer. I like this period when it comes to like hacking and computer technology. Retro futuristic. It's kind of neat. Cyberpunky. Well, speaking of Robin, these guys are acrobats. Some nice CGI acrobats. Where they got the outfits that protect them from the light so they don't get disintegrated. Blade's barely moving. To show what a badass he is, he barely has to move to deflect the attacks. It's a fun fight to watch. I'm enjoying myself. That looked a little dated, but it was still pretty cool. Ironically, by trying to do more with the effects, it actually looks more dated than the original movie. So ironically, this movie seems older than the first movie.
We represent the ruling body of the Vampire Nation.
Vampire Nation. We represent the ruling party of the Vampire Nation.
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
Something worse than you.
So is this an the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of moment? Interesting idea. So he's going to have to work with vampires to kill something worse than vampires.
You're human. Barely. I'm a lawyer.
Wah, 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 wah.
Damn, man, I'm really worried about him.
Reminds me of an episode of Star Trek Voyager, Scorpion, where Captain Janeway has to make an alliance with the Borg. What? Oh.
Touch me.
Ew.
They are ready whenever you are, Daywalker.
I like the disapproving look she gave him. She saw one of his weaknesses.
Man, Chupa, and Reinhardt.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember those names. Oh, no way. He's in this movie? What is that?
Anybody tampers with it,
Ooh, interesting.
I'll have the detonator with me.
Blade ain't messing around, folks. He ain't messing around.
The House of Pain.
The House of Pain. Are they going to jump around when they get there? That's a 90s music joke.
Jump around!
He's got the binoculars over the top of his sunglasses.
Nice.
Better curb that dog of yours, or we'll do it for you.
Fuck me, I blow up your head. I guess they're done explaining what they're doing with him for the last 2 years in this little blood jar. He's just back in the movie now. You gotta have some good monster killing music, I guess. Is this a song that was made specifically for this movie?
What exactly are we looking for in here?
Anything that looks suspicious.
Can you narrow that down a little bit? Oh, that's not... Oh, razor blades are going to kiss with razor blades? Yeah! No. So, this is the kind of music vampires listen to, huh? Is there such a thing as a vampire that likes country music or jazz? I don't know, just wondering. Well, that's not good. I'm not super optimistic about this guy's survival chances.
What am I to you? Is the enemy of my enemy my...
Hey, I mentioned that earlier. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That didn't kill him, huh? So these things are hard to kill, apparently. Epic face-off between two characters I don't know anything about or care about. In slow motion. So it's just ripping that dude to shreds, but it's not doing anything to kill him. So how do you kill these things? See, you could have used a Wilhelm scream there as well. Drive away with a... Well, he might get away, he might survive. Splat! He'll pull the sword out of himself and be fine. Oh, even worse! That was gross. Kind of gnarly, but ew. I mean, how do you kill that thing? Ew. Well, it is a vampire movie. I guess I shouldn't be surprised at the gore. Oh my goodness, what the... Oh, that's why they have the split... That's why they have the split thing on their chin. Thoroughly disgusting. I guess if you want a scarier villain than the original movie, this is accomplishing that. Scud has to skedaddle to get the hell out of there so he survives. So light is the only thing that'll work, huh? Okay. So the silver doesn't do anything, but light works. Interesting. I just don't like looking at that open mouth thing. You gotta have the necessary techno-y electronic music for the fight. The fight doesn't work without it. I mean, they need the rhythm to be able to fight to. It makes sense. Oh, that's unpleasant. A lot of this movie is unpleasant, but it's supposed to be. Oh, that was neat. The light reflected off the sword. Oh, look how that thing moves. Ah, I don't like it. That's weird. Eh. Eh.
Back off!
Oh, and he disintegrates. That looks pretty cool. Oh, the eye blinked. Oh, that's. Oh, that was just. I'm at a loss for words. That eyeball moving is really disturbing.
Everyone? Even your own daughter? Yes, even her.
His daughter. So is that the one with the 4 dots on her head that Blade was wondering why the vampire didn't kill her? So the 2 ways to kill these things are sunlight or starvation. Yuck. Yuck. I feel sorry for this thing's dentist. Yuck.
Tongue carries the virus. It is injected through these barbs. But your muscles, overdeveloped, allowing for a much stronger bite.
Just chewing bubble gum.
Mandible bone.
Oh, that's funny.
Squeeze that tooth, Scud.
Garlic?
I don't need the vampire autopsy, folks. I just don't need it. Ew. Gonna watch this movie to the end, but it's kind of gross for me.
So let's see what else we can find.
I'm very inconsistent with my blood and guts. Like a war movie doesn't really bother me. I mean, viscerally, as a human being, seeing other people hurt and killed, yes, that bothers me. But just the yuck factor of this is just a little bit much for me. That's why I don't watch That's why I don't watch many horror movies. But I do love Wesley Snipes, and I do like this movie, even though it has a lot of gross shit I don't like. I'm really enjoying the movie overall. So far, I don't think I like it as much as the original movie, but this is still pretty good. I'm talking because I don't want to look at the screen.
Look at that.
Yuck.
The heart is encased in bone.
You know what I will say, though? Even though it's disgusting, it's very well done. It looks real enough. I understand that it's all rubber and plastic and shit, but it's wet and gross looking and kind of looks a little too real. So kudos to the props people.
What happens at sunrise?
And that all looks practical too. That wasn't CGI. If they did this movie today, that would all be computer animated, but they're using real stuff to make that, and I appreciate that.
Fucking joke.
Let's drag.
So this guy had a cross around his neck, and he had a cross in the van. Does that mean he's a Christian? Because they said in the previous movies that crucifixes don't do anything for vampires. Old vampire lore is you hold up a cross, and the vampire winces away from it or whatever. They said that that doesn't do squat to kill vampires in this movie, so this guy's either a religious person or just likes the lore or something. It's very interesting that they did that. I guess even if the cross doesn't do anything against vampires, because it is a well-known piece of vampire lore, it could just be symbolizing his hatred of vampires. Just a guess.
Not scare them off.
Yeah, well, some of us can't.
I'm really happy that Ron Perlman is in this movie. Elevates the movie a couple notches in my mind. Ron Perlman's great in everything he's in. Is there an advantage to climbing on the wall? Does that help them somehow? Or is, I mean, it looks creepy, I guess. Looking creepy, if that's your goal, that works. But do you actually, does it accomplish anything to walk on the side of the wall? I mean, I guess if you could, you probably would, right? Oh, that's kind of cool. Is the little light grenade to kill them all? I like it. Oh, a whole fucking room full of those things? Yeah, he's outnumbered. Ron Perlman gets the award for second coolest person in the movie. Oh, that's pretty cool. Kind of dated effects, but still pretty awesome. I don't like them climbing on the walls and ceilings and shit. That's just creepy. Oh, I shot him right in his open mouth. And more blue light skeletons. Pretty sure the body count in this movie is way, way higher than the first movie. And that says a lot because there was a lot of death in the first movie.
About this ring. About the truth. The truth, old man.
What's the ring mean? Words we can't understand, so we have to find out about it later. Okay, fine. He's gonna give her a little of his own blood to help the vampire live? That's different. Is this Nisa character from the comics? I don't know. I don't know how much of this is comic book accurate. Let me know in the comments if you're a Blade fan, if you're a fan of the comics. Are any of these characters in the comic book? I'd like to know. A shocking turn of events. No? Okay.
My daughter.
Oh, so that's his daughter. Okay. Yeah, I totally called it that was the daughter, but then again, it was kind of obvious to people that have seen movies before. He's just hanging out, you know. Oh, I thought he was upside down. Okay. It's the weird camera angle.
Reinhardt, you can kiss your ass goodbye.
And it doesn't work.
I'm sorry, man. Big. You wasted.
Betrayal at 2. Axl Rose.
You think they scoped out my security system?
So now I'm really wondering about the crosses the guy wears.
Since they turned you.
Oh.
2. It's not a dud.
Oh, great.
I like it. I like it. Oh, that looks like it would suck.
Now this might hurt a bit.
No, man.
So this is 2 for 2 on movies where they're trying to harvest Blade's blood. Chris Christopherson's kicking some ass. That's a cool image. Oh, I recognize that music. Cheers, folks. Yeah, I can see why the Blade character is still popular after all these years. This is good stuff. Oh, yeah, there we go. That was cool. That was that. I don't even know how to describe that other than that was cool. Oh, and the sunglasses grab once again. Yep, badassery will now commence. Even more badassery than before. When they blow up all the stuff. Well, that wasn't really a badassery will now commence. That was, I've accomplished badassery with the sunglasses. So, got to make that important distinction. Props to the makeup department, too. This looks good. I mean, it looks disgusting, but it looks the way they intended it to. So, kudos. Feeding on your own family? It's gross. Interesting climax to the movie. Yeah, I'm kind of used to it by now. It's still gross, but I'm getting used to it. Flippy, flippy, stab. He sprung a leak. Superhero landing. That looked like a flimsy door. Worst chiropractic session ever. Lots of flippies in this movie. What is going on? Oh, light inside of him. Goodbye. Nice knowing you, bad guy, vampire. So if she burns up, I guess she's not going to be in the third movie, huh? Oh, is she going to kiss him as she disintegrates? I'm glad I was wrong about the kissing while she disintegrates. That would have been kind of corny. But that's interesting imagery. I like it. I can see this right out of the pages of a comic book. I kind of want to read Blade comics now. Oh, now we're in London for some reason. The last movie just brought us to Moscow for no reason. Now we're in London. Oh, I forgot about that guy.
Are you sure?
And it's Blade instead of the girl, right?
Well, you didn't think I forgot about you, did you?
Yeah, because the audience did. All right, so that was that. Well, folks, that was Blade 2. First, the good. Very consistent stylistically. Blade was exactly the same character you know from the first movie. Wesley Snipes nails this role just as much as he nailed the first movie. I still say he was born to play this part. It was a good story overall. It was fun. It was a new twist. You know, you got to have a different kind of villain in the second movie compared to the first movie. Maybe it would have been a little redundant if he's just killing vampires again. So you had to up it up a couple notches. On the downside, it didn't really live up to the first movie. It wasn't quite as entertaining. The story wasn't quite as well thought out. But I like that Blade was Blade from the beginning. I'm sort of done with origin stories. I'm glad Blade 1 wasn't an origin story. He was already the character when you first see him. Same thing with this movie. This movie can stand on its own. The explanations of what happened in the first movie didn't go too far. They had to come up with some bullshit excuse to bring Chris Christopherson back. But other than that, it didn't rely too much on you knowing what happened in the first movie for the second movie to make sense. And I appreciate that. It was a good movie. I'm glad I watched it. It was a little bit too gross for me, a little bit too blood and guts, but as I said earlier, I'm not really a horror movie fan. But this, even though it had the blood and guts, it seemed more like a comic book movie to me, and that's a good thing. I think this is better than any of the more recent Marvel movies. I'm saying this towards, as of recording, it's August of 2024. The last few Marvel movies haven't been that great, but this is pretty good. I can see why a lot of people are super excited that Blade is going to be coming into the Marvel universe, and they picked a good actor to do it. I don't know why Wesley Snipes couldn't do it. I think he could still pull it off. He's older now, obviously. I think he could still do it. He was in Deadpool and Wolverine and pulled it off, so why not? I mean, if Michael Keaton can still play Batman and The Flash, why not have Wesley Snipes be Blade? But even so, I'm excited for the future of Blade. I hope they do a good job with him in future movies. But Blade 2, a little bit of a step down from the original, but still very good, still a very solid movie. Thank you very much for watching this reaction video. And once again, if you liked what you saw, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps us out tremendously. Until next time, thank you for stopping by the lounge. Take care.